fibers. So in terms of how to change one's genes, your genes are being acted upon by external influences all the time. Guess what? Every time you're exposed to new information, that is having an impact on your genes. Every time you're exposed to a new thought, that is having an impact on your genes and their expression. And think about that. Think about being a tiny child and beginning to grow up and being exposed to language. Just the idea that language exists, that these are patterns of sounds and vibration and that they carry meaning. That in itself changed your genes. Other things that once you gain language and you are exposed to finer and finer levels of thought and consciousness, every time it's having a change on your genes. Not only when someone overtly said to you, "Hi, little Johnny or Susie, do something like this," but when you modeled behavior, when you were looking out from this perspective here, you were looking out there and you said, people do stuff like this, and your genes said, they do it like that, I'm going to do it like that. That is how your genes got changed throughout your life. And that is how your genes ended up in the current state that they are in. Understand, if this was your parents or the people who raised you or who you were exposed to the most, you most likely patterned your genes and your genetic expression upon them. But that's good news, because what we're really talking about here is this process of patterning or mirroring. This green stuff, this is what you really are, right? And then this red pattern, that's the pattern that was imposed upon it. You're dancing like everyone around you, but you don't have to dance like everyone around you. You can dance like Flying Rainbow Lasagne. And this is my message. When I say that I am a walk-in and I have described to members of this student class what that means, and I have described it often on the internet, it's part of my message that I am a consciousness newcomer to this physical form, and that the reason why I have come into this physical form is to bring a message. So the message is not only, "Hi, look at this sculpture," or "Look at this painting," or "Look at this image," or "Listen to my voice." The message that I'm bringing is, I'm a Flying Rainbow Lasagne and I vibrate like this. And if you want to, you can vibrate your genes just like that. And I do this for many reasons. I do this because I am allowed to do it according to the rules of the universe. Not only does the Flying Rainbow Lasagne not conflict with the rules of the universe, and it is consistent within the language of the flow of energy of the universe, but in terms of changing things, because I talked a lot about the level of unconditional love, remember green, level of the heart, unconditional love, and how a great deal of unconditional love and meditation is necessary before one begins manifesting, because when you reach a level of love and you're humming along like this with your heart chakra open, you realize that there aren't a lot of things that need to change. There are a lot of things you need to accept. You need to say, I accept that is that way, and I don't need to be upset by it, and I don't need to change it. That's a big part of the journey. But there are, of course, things that do need to change. We are evolving on a planetary level, individual level, and on a cellular level. And in order to evolve, there are definitely things that do need to change. So we cultivate our energy to be able to do that. And that change has to be according to free will. Like, I cannot come in and impose this dance of genes upon someone else. It has to be by their own free will. They have to look at this and say, that's an interesting genetic dance to be doing. I'm interested in those dance steps. How do I do those dance steps? And then intentionally take that vibration in. All of our genes are affecting each other. They're interrelated and interpenetrating, because your genes, they're vibrating. Just like if you had a guitar string and you plucked it and it was vibrating at a particular level. Well, your genes are absolutely vibrating on a level like a guitar string. They vibrate in loops like this. Remember, they change and shift and splice themselves and morph themselves. And also, they are busy whirling and twirling, being twirled together, being untwirled, being unfurled, and being spliced back together. And all of that movement is part of their vibration. And the vibration of your own DNA is affecting the DNA of those around you, and it is also being affected by the DNA of those around you. So doesn't this sound a lot now like the little cell that said, oh, look, here's this external hormone that's coming along, something from outside of me, and it's going to come inside of my DNA and turn something on and make me do something. What's happening? This is an external thing. But no, what we're really seeing here is that the DNA in others and their thoughts and their ideas and their vocalizations are coming inside of you, and they are activating parts of your DNA. But also the thoughts and emotions and artwork and music and creativity and writing and unintentional things that you are sending out are also affecting others. Here's a little hormone that you just sent out that's going into someone else's nucleus and is affecting their behavior and their thought. And, for me to be here as a walk-in, I'm a conscious being on a mission. I'm consciously affecting the DNA of the people around me. And I'm allowed to be doing that. I'm not imposing it on anyone else. What I'm doing is I'm giving you the example. I'm saying, hey, this is what lasagna can be. This is what your DNA can do. This is what this is all about. And it is your choice. You have the option of beginning to move your DNA in these formats, in this way.